Like him too, he my man, he my boo, he my type, he's so cute. I want him and I want him too. I like him.
Hey guys, welcome back. So it's day 7 and we're still in the floodwaters. Mariah went out to swim to find us some food. And then we keep having nightmares. And we had a nightmare about us getting burned in the oven and then running after these girls, and then one of them threw a piece of cloth behind them and burned us in hellfire. So don't know what's going on. But Gregor just woke up and he says, "Good morning. Do you think she made it to higher ground?" I believe in Mariah. Me too. She'll be fine. Right, little guy? So what do we do now? Just wait? Karen, how long? It's been almost a day since she left. Anatoly and Gregor look nervous. Someone needs to go look for her. We need to wait, Karen. Wait for what? The nearest town is miles and miles away. Waiting is all we can do for now. So it could be days before she gets back? What are we supposed to eat? Mice? Karen, I'm pretty sure Anatoly will agree, but we'll discuss next options when we get to it. Every waking thought is about food now. I never should have eaten that much. Karen's hands are in voluntary shake. Gregor and Anatoly just nod in agreement. They don't even need her to elaborate. You're sure Mariah will make it back? She promised. Everyone retreats to their areas. What do you want to do today? Anatoly was crying, so we're gonna go speak to Anatoly. Hey, the kitchen definitely doesn't feel the same without Mariah. Her laugh, her smile. I never got to tell her how I felt about her. She'll be back, right? I nod. Yeah, I wish we had rationed better. I decide to distract him from his misery with an old story. There was once a villager who had to stock up on supplies for the winter. He filled his house with a cow, a sack of grains from the field, and 92 buckets of water, mostly for the cow. He quickly ran out of room as the house wasn't very big. One day, the villager grew sick. He knew he needed the life-giving milk from the cow to survive the winter. But when he attempted to milk the cow, his grip was too weak to grasp her udders. In desperation, he began to boil the grains using his buckets of water. The cow cried out for food, but the villager could only afford to feed himself. Each night, the cries of the cow kept him awake, until one day he ran out of food. The villager crawled into bed crying as the snow deepened outside. The cow's sad eyes stared at him. He wanted to comfort the cow, but he couldn't step over the bucket. He was too weak, too sick. The last thing he heard was the cow still crying out for food. One haunting noise to end his life. Anatoly looks horrified with your story. You leave him alone in the kitchen. Why did I just do that? I can't stop thinking about that vegetable stew. I'd be fine with bread and jam. I'd be fine with just strawberries. Nobody else laughed. I would kill for some vegetables right now. You would too. I'm going to try and get some sleep. Good night. Night. You fall asleep quickly, but you only dream about desecrating a corpse. Am I okay? You wake in a cold sweat in a completely different room. Am I okay? It's day 8. The hell? Good morning. Karen's looking worse. Will you cook for the group today? You take out a cutlet of meat and begin to cook it in the oven. You cooked meat. Where did you get that? I ignore her question. Where did I get that? What's his name? What's that smell? Gregor finally gets off the couch. The 3 are looking at you, salivating. You take the charred meat out of the oven, cutting it into cutlets. They immediately grab some off the plate, chewing ferociously. You take a piece and immediately devour it. Do you have any more of this? You explain how the meat is stored securely, hidden, so you can ration better this time. I understand. Thank you. Anatoly runs to the bathroom, puking in the toilet. You can hear him sobbing for a few minutes. This taste is... Gregor wanders off. Anatoly returns looking choked up. I was too weak. Left you some of the meat. Don't fight this, Anatoly. He takes a cutlet from the plate, turning his back to the group as he devours it. You can hear him crying. Finally, my focus is coming back. Going to read some of those books. Keep them occupied, okay? She leaves me with the men. Who do you want to talk to? We'll talk to Anatoly. I knock on the door. I'll slowly open the door. He's crying. Thanks for checking in on me. I ask if he still feels sick. Not anymore. I think it was a mental thing. Please don't tell me where the meat came from. The less known, the better. Thank you. I'm sure he will remember that. I want to know where the meat came from. Is it Mariah? Are we eating her? You leave Anatoly and go tidy up some parts of the kitchen. Hours pass. The meal gave everyone the perseverance to keep going. Eating will just make them hungrier. They're fine now, but soon they'll be begging for more. We've waited long enough. What's for dinner? I calmly explain that you want to ration the meat better this time and there will be no dinner. Fine. I understand. Guess I'd rather eat tomorrow than more today. No arguments? Perfect. Everyone decides to call it an early night. I fall asleep instantly tonight. I have a strange dream. I'm having dinner with a blacksmith, but he's not touching his food. The only light in the room comes from the oven. He clears his throat, stroking his beard. I can forge anything, he says. Your eye has been giving you issues lately, so you reply. Forge me a new eye then. You laugh, but then the ropes come out. He ties you to your chair with a long rope to prevent you from struggling. You rip the rope apart without even trying, so the blacksmith uses a thicker rope. No turning back now. He takes a hot poker out of the coals, holding it in front of his face. You could see his beard and his eyes watching you. He slowly brings back the poker, aiming carefully for your eye, before plunging it through your skull with a sickening crunch. The force of the blow throws you backwards a few feet. You're unable to break the ropes. You vomit all over your chest as the smell of your decimated eye floods your nostrils. The blacksmith stands over you, spitting on your body. You wake in a cold sweat. All right. Day 9. You wake up to see Gregor looking out the window. He turns to you, not smiling. Take a look out the window. Do you notice anything? The floodwaters have receded a little bit, but everyone is still bound to the cabin. The trail used to be completely visible. It's gone now. Good morning, big guy. Will Mariah make it back? This might sound a little crazy, but every night around 2 a.m. I can hear her outside. She makes this awful gurgling noise like she's trying to get water out of her lungs. Have you heard her, Gregor? Sometimes when the rain gets faint, I think I can hear her whispering. I haven't heard anything like that. When she's whispering, it's like she's trying to tell you something, right? Yes. Whoa. I sometimes hear her crying through the radio, but that's just a broadcast, right? This is terrifying. I think we should have another piece of meat for breakfast. One step closer to Mariah. It's what she would have wanted. What's gotten into you, Anatoly? His eyes look at me begging. Bring us another slab, please. He clearly doesn't have the stomach for it. I can't get the taste out of my mouth. Please help me. Anatoly. Gregor looks pained at Anatoly's words. I think he's right. Please bring us more of that meat. You grab some of the meat from your secret hiding place. You cut it into squares, adding it to the boiling cauldron water. It will taste bland without any seasoning, but you need to serve it up right away. What's taking so long? Boil it faster! It looks like it's almost done. Patience. Finally finished. You serve the meat in bowls. Gregor drinks the broth first before swallowing the chunks whole, like a duck does when eating bread. Anatoly creates ripples in the broth using the spoon. He isn't eating. I'm sorry about earlier, everyone. I don't know what overtook me. Mariah. Anatoly begins to weep. You look over at Karen. You didn't even notice her even start to eat. There's just an empty bowl now. Karen's staring right at you. How much more meat is left? I explain how most of it has gone bad. This is the last of it. How could you be so careless again? You remember Karen's knife. You need to think fast. What the hell are we supposed to do now? Wait around again? This storm isn't ending. You clear your throat. Anatoly? Yes. I think tomorrow you should look for Mariah. Or forage for plants outside. I think you should go tomorrow, little guy. Nobody else can identify edible plants like you. Please, Anatoly. You could swim back after a few hours. Gregor's right, Anatoly. Maybe you'll find Mariah out there! I think Mariah's fine by herself. He still hasn't accepted what happened yet. She doesn't need anyone's help, but we do need your help, Anatoly. That's right, Anatoly. Please help us. Let me sleep on it. Okay? No problem, little guy. Everyone shuffles off to their rooms, reading books and knitting to pass time. You go to the bed ravenous. Mariah. Something is approaching.
Onion!
Onion. Don't be a crybaby. It's just me. Onion! Not going to be very sweet today. I'm worried about Anatoly. He's going to cave to peer pressure. Can you stop him from leaving the cabin? You don't answer, Onion. Please? Don't you trust me? You shake your head. Got a fun factoid for you. Did you know that leaving out an unpeeled onion in your room absorbs bacteria? It will help prevent colds and ward off viruses.
Onion!
That was a lie. The fun factoid of that myth, people actually believed it in the 1500s. How embarrassing. Who would believe that? There was even a doctor in 1919 who caused a surge of people believing it. Anyways, you know what smells like raw onion left in a room? You! It's been a while since your last bath, right? You can't remember. I could smell you before I even came to the room. Yikes. So, Can you stop Anatoly from leaving? I know he has cabin fever, but this is ridiculous. It will be impossible to stop a grown man from leaving. Please? We don't need another one stalking the hallways, tapping on the windows, crying through the radio. You have the sudden urge to scream. Why do you think I've been using the mouse holes to get around? Scared to death that I'll run into her. Don't make me tattle the cabbage about you. She can be as mean as potato if you get on her bad side. Just kidding. She's great. Anyways, when the time comes, just tell Anatoly you care about him and don't want him to leave. Even if it's for me, okay? You can trust me. Now, if you excuse me, I need to work on some new ice skates. They're made of butter slices, so I'll get to skate around the frying pan tomorrow. Later! My mind finally manages to forget everything that happened. I fall asleep again, still ravenous. I have a strange dream. Okay, guys, so with this, I'm going to end this video here. We'll see if we stop Anatoly from going outside the cabin. I don't know what is even going on. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully we figure it out soon. See y'all later.